City cars. Low selling prices, small volumes and, more often than not, unique platforms mean that it's tricky to make them profitable. Just ask Ford and Renault. Both have pulled their challenges from the UK market in recent years, and other brands are likely to follow.
But Hyundai isn't one of them, because this is the all-new i10, and it's a car which the brand claims leads a class for both equipment levels and safety tech. So the question is this: should you get an i10 over the Volkswagen Up?
Under the skin, the i10 gets a new platform, more equipment and loads of safety tech previously unseen in the city car segment. The design looks familiar from the outside, but it's slightly lower and wider than the previous model. Combined with some sharper details and the 16-inch alloy wheels on this top spec model, it's a smart looking thing. It's the same story inside. The second gen i10's slightly drab look is gone, and in its place is a dash that has a hint of the Kona SUV about it. Top spec models get textured bits of plastic on the dash and the door trims to liven things up.
And then when it comes to storage, the i10 is really well thought out as well. There's a couple of cup holders down here, there's massive door bins which can easily hold a bottle, there's a wireless charging pad in top spec cars for your mobile phone, and then there's a little shelf here too. Overall, it's really well thought out.
That infotainment system is at its best when fitted with the optional tech pack. Features like the built-in navigation and wireless charging are included in this, as is Hyundai's BlueLink telematics app, which lets users plan routes and control features like the door locks from their smartphone. The Up's interior design is a bit brighter and more funky, but it's nowhere near as practical as this. The new i10 is just 5mm longer than the old one, but its wheelbase has grown by 40mm. It's not like the last i10 was pokey in the back, but this new one is even better.
I'm only 5'7", so I'm never testing the limits of head and leg room, but there's absolutely loads of space in here. There are super minis which have less, to be honest.
So if you often carry passengers in the back then, picking the i10 is a no-brainer. The previous model had the biggest boot in its class, and the new car's is exactly the same size. There's also a false floor that can be set on 2 levels, and the rear seat backs fold in a 60-40 split. But out on the road, the i10 still feels nicely compact.
Now, being such a small car, you'd expect the i10 to be really easy to drive, and it is. The steering's light and it's precise, the visibility's great all around, and it's pretty comfortable too.
And being so small and light, it's fun to drive too. Hyundai's engineers have fitted a quicker steering rack for this 3rd generation model, and it means the i10 feels more agile through the corners. There's plenty of glass and the windows are nice and low, so it's easy to see out of, and even though you can practically reach back to the rear window from the driver's seat, it's even got parking sensors and a reversing camera to make town driving even easier.
Now, from launch, the Hyundai i10 comes with a choice of 2 petrol engines. There's a 1-litre 3-cylinder and a 1.2-litre 4-cylinder. Both are carried over pretty much unchanged from the old car, except they now both get stop-start tech to help cut emissions.
As a result, the cleanest i10 emits 104 grams of CO2 per kilometre. The petrol Up emits 100 grams though, which means that whether you're buying privately or on the off chance you run one as a company car, the VW is very slightly cheaper to run.
The 1 litre we're driving here only has 66 brake horsepower, so while it's fine around town, it does start to struggle a bit at higher speeds. We'd go for the 83 horsepower 1.2 litre because it only costs 500 quid more.
Like the smaller unit, the 1.2 lacks the torque of the latest turbocharged engines though, so that 5-speed manual gearbox is going to be getting plenty of use if you head onto a motorway. For an extra 500 quid, the i10 can do the shifting for you, but unless you enjoy making nodding dog impressions against your will, the auto gearbox is awful. Those hoping for a little more power will have to wait until the summer for the N-Line version. The N-Line gets a turbocharged 3-cylinder with 99 brake horsepower and 172 Nm of torque. Hyundai hasn't ruled out the possibility of a fully electric version in the future too. So then, the i10 is roomier than the Up, better equipped than the Up, just as good to drive, and it has more safety tech too. All models come with autonomous emergency braking, driver attention alert, lane departure warning, lane keep assist and tyre pressure monitoring as standard. There's 3 trim levels to choose from: SE, SE Connect and Premium. All of them get a leather steering wheel, cruise control, heated mirrors and air conditioning, while top spec models get very un-city car features like a heated steering wheel and seats. It's priced pretty well too. The entry-level model starts from 12,495, which is only a couple of hundred quid more than the basic VW Up. It's a little pricier with all of the best equipment added though. A manual 1.2 in premium trim costs 14,995, and once you've added the tech pack, that means that the i10 costs more than the Up GTI. But you're getting so much for the money that it's worth it. It's taken almost 9 years, but this might just be the city car to finally beat the VW Up. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe to the Auto Express channel, click on the bell icon to switch on notifications, and make sure to leave your comments below.